we want to move to chapter 13 that helps us to write the subquery of the select clause, basically. So select clause, chapter 3 is about group by clause. So far we learned select, from, where, and then we have group by, and then we may have order by and limit. So in the select, we have column 1, comma, column 2, or we may put some other columns as well. Then here, let's say we have aggregate columns 1 and aggregate column 2. So aggregate columns are the one that we just discussed, for example, sum, mean, max, and so on. Then here we may have a table, let's say table 1. So table 1, and then here we may have a search condition that we talked earlier. And then here in the group Y, we need to list all of these non-aggregate columns that we have here. And here you need to group by based, you can order by based on whatever the columns that you have. So we are not like that. So what is the meaning of this group by? So meaning of the group by is that you want to summarize the result based on some specific columns. For example, the total payment of each customer. So when you hear each or per, that means you want to find, you need to use a group by, right? So we want to answer the total payments of each customer. So that means I want the total payment per customer, right? So it is a customer number and sum of amount, right? So that's the sum amount from payments, and then here we have group by customer number, right? So here it shows, it's going to show how much each customer has paid, right? So here customer 103 paid this much. If you recall earlier, we used this one. So select C customer some P from payments as the inner query and outer query here select from. The answer is exactly the same, right? So here group Y is way easier. So the way it works is so let's say this is table of payments, right? So the table of payments we have, let's say this is customer ID and this is the amount, right? So here customer 1, customer number 2. So here customer 1 paid 200, here paid 50, here we have 200 and 300. Now the way it works is that we get two columns, it is customer payments and the total amount. So here we have customer number 1 and 2. So we get 1 and 2, right? So this is, and then adds these two. So 150 and 500. So, right? So that's how this group by works, right? Now let's say the number of orders of each customer. So we want to see how many times each customer has ordered. So it is select again customer number, right? And this time count. So number means count from orders, group by customer number, right? So here you can see this one, right? So here you see customer 103 ordered 3 times and so on. Let's say we want to have another questions. Let's say each US customers, right? So here we are looking for customers that order from US, right? So in this case, we are not looking for all customers. We are looking for specific customer, right? So where customer number, so here customer number in, right? We'll select customer number from customers, right? Where country is equal to USA, right? So makes sense. So here we added the where clause, and this where clause is based on subquery. So this is the list of the customers that they are from USA, right? So here you see 112, 124, 124, and so on. Right, when we run this, it's going to return the number of purchases of each customer from US. Okay. Make sense? All right. All right. Okay, so let's do one more example. The number of customers per each country, right? So we want to find number of customers per each country, right? So it is select country, right? And then count, right? Count asterisk from customers, and then we have group by country, right? So here it just okay, so here we have all based on customers. Okay, so this is topic of chapter 30. Now we want to talk about chapter 14. So chapter 14 is another interesting feature. So here we have column 1, column 2, then we have aggregate column 1, aggregate column 2 from table, let's say 1, and then we may have a where clause, which is a search condition, and then we have group by column 1, column 2, and then we have having. So this is the topic of chapter 4 is having, and this having also uses a search condition, and then you may have order by and limit that you can limit. Okay, so the search condition in the where clause and the having clause, they are different. This one is based on the simple column, so it is based on the column 1, column 2, and similar expressions of the tables. However, this having is based on aggregate columns, so it is aggregate column 1 and aggregate column 2. For example, what kind of search condition we may use? Because most of these aggregate conditions are numbers, you can use, for example, aggregate condition column 1 in, for example, between 10 and 100, right? So the range, or aggregate column less than 100, right? Or aggregate column equal 100, and so on. So range and comparison is most common one, right? So most common one is range and range. So let's have some examples. Customer who made more than 10,000. So we want to find the customers that they made more than 10,000. So that means paid. Customer who paid more than 10,000. So first we need to find the payment of the customer. So it is customer numbers sum amount from payments, right? Group by customer number, right? Then, so let's look at this. So this one returns two columns. One is the sum amount, one is the customer number. Now we are looking for this value. So we are looking for group by, and we have having this one. So sum amount is greater than 10,000, right? Okay. So here we have just one of them dropped. So let's increase this one to 30,000. So we increase to 30,000, and here just becomes a little bit less. Okay, makes sense? Is this clear? All right, so let's do more. So let's expand this one. So here, US customers who paid more than 10,000. Okay. So what feature we need to add this one? So I copied the answer to the previous question, and then we are not looking for all customers. We are just looking for this customer, right? So we can use where customer number, right, in, and then we can do the same thing that we did before, right? Customer number from customers where, right, where country is equal USA, right? So this has everything in it. So it is a subquery here, it has a group by here, and having it. So this one is going to give us the list of the customers that they made, the US customers that they made more than 30,000, right? So here in the sections here. Now, so here were works on the simple rows. Now, here we are doing some tasks, some computation using the group by. So if you want to eliminate any rows, if it is possible, eliminate using where. Otherwise, otherwise you're gonna waste some computation time, right? So if it is possible, eliminate it using the where.